Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport, and we are back looking at some more Formula E from 2016-2017, the third season, and now we are looking at the final round at Montreal. The title fight is coming down to this. We've had another year of amazing battles between Lucas di Grassi and Sebastian Buemi. Last time out at New York, if you remember, Sebastian Buemi was not there. That has allowed Lucas di Grassi to close the gap, but now it is coming down to the final two races at Montreal. This is going on whilst we are in mid-April 2024. So Misano, the 6th and 7th round of Formula E in 2024. I'll be covering that at some point, but I want you to put that out of your mind for now, and we are going to take a trip back in time once again. This is back to the normal grid, no more Pierre Gasly's. This is Buemi and Prost at Dams. You've got di Grassi and Abt at Audi. They are the important ones because they are also fighting for the team's title. So keep that in mind, and let's get this second to last race of 2017 underway.
Who's starting there, down in 12th place with just 2 races to go. Stefan Sarazan is alongside him in the black and gold Venturi car. All 5 lights are on, and we go green in Montreal, and it's a good start from Sarazan, but di Grassi comes over and covers it nicely. Not a very good start from Sebastian Buemi at all. Here comes di Grassi on the brakes into turn 1. Very late on the brakes from the Jaguars. They're trying to go either side of the cars in front, but di Grassi holds the lead. Buemi gets safely through the first corner. We're on board with him now, going side by side with the Andretti car of Antonio Felix da Costa on the run up in towards turn 2. He's been passed by both Andrettis, gets a bash from this side, a bash from that side. He's dropping back and back and back down the order while di Grassi leads the race.
And this is Sebastian Buemi being too cautious. He's an attacking driver and he's just been a little too careful, and you see him in reverse and people are just bullying him, beating up on him, and he's normally the guy doing that to other people.
Right down the back of the field now, Lucas di Grassi is leading the way. Stefan Sarazan in second for the Techeetah team. Third at the moment as it stands is Felix Rosenquist from Mahindra. Sebastian Buemi there on the team radio, and we'll see what he can do to try and make his way back up the order. And is that wheel, Dario, slightly out of kilter? Is it slightly pointing to the right as he comes into a straight line?
Let me have a look here. He's going through the turn, coming up to turn 8. Now it looks not too bad, Jack. He looks like he's okay. He definitely wheel banged with one of the other cars. I think it was one of the Andretti cars.
Well, have a look at the onboard when he comes onto this back straight. There comes Jose Maria Lopez trying to get past Maro Engel. A little bit of sliding from both of them. Buemi trying to take advantage.
And he has. He's passed him.
Yep, so that's a position gained by Sebastian Buemi.
And Buemi has the pace to pick them off one by one, Jack, but he cannot be hanging around.
It's hanging to the right here. Let's stay on board with Buemi coming out of the chicane. Then look at his steering wheel.
It is, Jack. You're absolutely right.
So Lucas di Grassi is doing exactly what he needs to do. He's leading from the front. That is as perfect a situation as it can be for him right now. Sebastian Buemi, things are not going so well. He's down the back of the field, and he's getting involved with other drivers. He's picked up some damage. It's going to be difficult for him to make ground from here, but it is 2017 Sebastian Buemi. He is incredible at this moment in time, and you can't pick a more on-form driver to make these moves and try and win another championship. So we're going to have to see how it goes from here. There was a lot of contact at the start, but everyone seems to have come through it unscathed for now.
So here they come now onto lap 3 of 35. Lockups everywhere coming down into the first corner. That's a big one from Duval. Just gets it stopped. He's putting a lot of...
in, though.
Here comes Buemi. Now he's managed to get past Maro Engel then. So Sebastian Buemi makes up a position and climbs up into 15th spot.
The key here is how quickly does he catch Robin Frains. This is it. He's got to be knocking them down one at a time.
To your point, Jack, about the championship standings as they run right now, with di Grassi in first and Sebastian Buemi still 5 spots away from breaking into the top 10 in a points-paying position. If the race ended right now, di Grassi would take the points lead by 18.
See, even with bent suspension, Sebastian Buemi can get these moves done. Race on.
There's a point. Sebastian Buemi cannot panic here. And here's a move.
Oh, Nick Heidfeld late in the day on Tom Dillman, and he goes through into 10th place. That could give Daniel Abt in the other Abt car an opportunity, and he takes it. Coming down into turn 2, Abt gets up the inside. Dillman loses 2 places in 2 corners and drops down into 12th position.
Decisive move from Daniel Abt. But yeah, Buemi cannot panic right now. He panics, it's all over because he'll make another mistake, and we've seen how that movie goes.
Okay, Antonio Felix da Costa's back in the race, so there must have been a timing glitch with him there, presumably, because he's suddenly back up into 14th position rather than being down in 20th. So Buemi's got past him. Now, Tom Dillman is the next man. So that battle we were just seeing unfold is now the battle that Buemi has joined. The man who is leading the championship at the moment, but as it stands, Lucas Di Grassi, the race leader, would move into the lead of the title race with just one race to go tomorrow as they swing past the left-hander, past the Haute-Terrasse Museum, and then the right-hander up towards the Quebec University.
Sebastian Buemi, 11.8 seconds behind our leader, Lucas Di Grassi. Sebastian Buemi, he's got to keep marching forward. He can't get slowed down to the pace of the cars ahead of him. And the good news for him, I suppose, is the Jaguar of Mitch Evans is starting to create a bit of a roadblock, as we see here.
Still in the early stages of this race, and we are already seeing some great action on track. Stefan Sarazan almost squeezed Felix Rosenqvist into the wall. Both those drivers have been fantastic over the second half of this season, especially since Sarazan moved to Techeetah, and they are currently second and third behind Di Grassi, and they are having one hell of a battle. Nick Heidfeld absolutely mugged Tom Dillman, and that allowed Daniel Abt through. Daniel Abt obviously looking to score a lot of points as well, because Abt Audi are chasing Edams in the Teams Championship. And Buemi has made a couple of moves. This Montreal track is creating opportunities to overtake. It's a really big shame we only ever got to see them come to Montreal once. And if you want to know about that, check out my Formula E Spiracies video.
Now Buemi goes to the inside. Dillman covers the inside, but presumably if you're Tom Dillman, you know there's no point fighting with one of the fastest cars out there.
No, not if you're smart at that point. You could defend a bit, and all you're doing is annoying him, to be quite honest, because he's coming past. But it's part of being a driver, I guess. But yeah, with the toe being knocked out, I wonder if he's overheating the front tyres. You've got to be able to have those front tyres working for you to keep the momentum up, to be able to save energy and still run quickly. So maybe he's starting to struggle with that, with the front toes, as I say, just being knocked out from that turn 1 incident lap 1 incident in turn 3.
It doesn't look like it's bothering him that much. His tyres look fine. He's making moves up the field, but it's going to get tougher for Sebastian Buemi from here, because he's got past Freins, he's got past Dillman, but now he's catching people like Nick Heidfeld and Daniel Abt, who, in fairness to everyone behind Buemi, they're going to be a lot harder to overtake. Di Grassi still leads out front and looks uncatchable right now. He's got a few seconds on everyone else. The fastest lap has swapped a few times, but we're sort of getting into that calm period before we get to the pit stops. I imagine the pit stops are about 6, 7, 8 laps away. It has calmed down a bit, but Buemi is still scything his way through the field, and this is in a car with a dodgy front wheel. Imagine how fast he's going to be in that second car, which is going to be perfectly fine.
As they come down towards turn 1, here's a look further back, and that's Robin Freins going up the inside of Tom Dillman. So that is now Freins going through into 13th position.
What I like about what Daniel Abt's doing here, he's not messing around trying to back up Sebastian Buemi into the cars in front. He's going forward, he's attacking, he's trying to make up places and do the best result for him. And here's Sebastian Buemi again on Loic Duval.
This is for one point in the championship.
Loic gave him a bit of help there, maybe. Definitely from a long way back.
So now, from here on in, the title configurations start changing, because now Buemi has 1 point, and that will shut that gap a little bit to Lucas Di Grassi if Di Grassi continues to win, to take the victory.
Énergie plus 1 et énergie plus 2.
Late move from Heidfeld. Duval is closing in. What are they doing? Round goes Loic Duval. Heidfeld does a gesticulation saying, what was that?
What are you
and Duval is just stuck facing the wrong way at the bottom of the Rue Saint-Antoine. Yellow flag's out, but what was he trying to achieve?
I mean, Loic's such an experienced driver. He's won Le Mans, he's won the World Endurance Championship, and the guy, Nick Heidfeld, can't disappear.
We are nearing the pit stop window, and I wonder if that incident was going to bring out a yellow flag. It looks like Duval and Heidfeld have moved on, and they haven't stopped on track, so he probably won't get a safety car or a full course yellow. So we might not see the pit stops for another few laps yet. It was a very silly move from Duval. Dragon have had such a woeful year. Maybe he's just desperate to finish in the points, but you don't do it by driving like that. And Heidfeld didn't really have anywhere to go. There's nothing he could have done about it. So very, very unfair on Heidfeld. But it has not really changed the race too much. Buemi has made a couple more overtakes. He got past Heidfeld and Duval before they decided to drive into each other. And he's now in the points. doesn't make a huge difference to the championship yet. Lucas Di Grassi will still take the lead. But Buemi is making progress, and we're going to see how it changes as the pit stops happen.
Yeah, he did.
Nick Heidfeld's got trouble as well.
Damage.
He's saying he's going to try and make it back. He got pushed in the wall. Now,
Come on.
if he gets back now, oh, look at that.
Right
the front right is done.
And it looks like Nick Heidfeld did take damage from that incident, and is going to struggle to make it back to the pits with that. But we'll see what happens.
And it doesn't help Sebastian Buemi, though, because he's not closed up under what would be a safety car.
So keep an eye on that ticker on the left-hand side. And 57 seconds is the minimum pit stop time. Daniel Abt in front of Sebastian Buemi as they return to the pits. Lucas Di Grassi changing over into his second car. We're going to have...
Attention, attention. Top.
And that's Buemi saying when he comes into the pits and crosses the line. And he's tucked right up behind.
Il fait exprès de me ralentir.
He's got to be careful here, because when Abt slows down to go into the box, and he says he feels that Abt's slowing him down, so he's going to keep pushing, and this is dangerous because as Abt lifts, he could spin him round into the mechanics.
Buemi's shouting "Allez" on the radio.
That's maybe not cool. That's...
So in comes Daniel Abt, and in now comes Sebastian Buemi. Lucas Di Grassi back out on circuit, full course yellow. Everybody has to go at the same pit speed while they're out there on the track. That's why everyone's coming into the pit lane now, because you lose less time pitting under full course yellow. So Buemi now is getting strapped into a tub he's never sat in part of a car that he's never sat in. And we'll keep an eye out on the pit stop times.
Confirm.
Got to be careful here for Buemi.
So
Don't do an unsafe release.
Carol behind you.
And here, he's come out in front of Daniel Abt now. Oh, and he's hit him!
Come on,
Piles
Daniel.
straight into the back of Sebastian Buemi. What is going on here? Buemi gesticulates. Lap 16 of 35. Now, Buemi's pit stop time was 57 seconds, and he is absolutely furious. Hans-Jürgen Abt.
Yeah.
Furious.
Ok, Seb, on se calme, on l'a passé.
Needs to calm
Le temps de pit
down.
stop est bon. Maintenant, on se concentre.
Now the question is going to be, was that an unsafe pit release by the Renault team to get him out in front of Daniel Abt? Well, let's have a look at this again. Is this an unsafe release? Oh, I would, if I had to put, Abt was alongside.
Crikey.
And then, to me, Buemi, I don't know, does he brake? Does he suddenly brake?
Well, the good thing is, that
I think that qualifies.
Abt's alongside.
And there comes the pit exit line, which is why Buemi slowed, I think, right?
Yeah, no, that's why Daniel hit him, because he slowed. Apologies to Daniel Abt. Sebastian Buemi slowed down.
But did he slow?
Violating the minimum pit time
to the full course yellow? He probably came out, took off pit limiter.
He slowed down because he got 57 seconds as the minimum pit stop line, pit out, and he was probably was going to be a little ahead of it.
And he did exactly 57 seconds, Sebastian Buemi. Goodness me.
Right.
Yeah. But he also wanted to get out in front of Daniel Abt.
Yeah, and that's not on.
I don't even know where to start with this one. So, shenanigans, we can call it. Buemi followed Daniel Abt into the pits. So we got early pit stops because Heidfeld did park on track. I thought it was going to be impossible for him to make that car get round back to the pits. He didn't. We got a full course yellow. That meant everyone came into the pits, apart from a few mad people who are not going to get any points in this race. But Daniel Abt was in front of Buemi, and he looked like he was coming into the pits slower than he maybe should have. Playing the team game, helping Di Grassi out, trying to cost Buemi time or maybe even a couple of places. It's not really on, but if there's no rules against it, why not, I suppose. It's not very sporting. Buemi barely got out of the pits in front of Daniel Abt. Maybe a bit too close. We'll have to see if that leads to a penalty. But then on the way out of the pits, it looks like Buemi slows down to get into position at the back of the safety car train, and Daniel Abt runs into him. I don't think it was on purpose. I don't think Daniel Abt is that stupid. Maybe it was, though. Maybe there's something going on here. There was a lot of gesticulating. Sebastian Buemi is clearly not happy. But at the moment, he is in the points, and he has jumped his main rival's teammates. I think we're on for a very exciting second half to this race.
Jean-Eric Vergne quicker than anyone, which was a very impressive lap time from the Frenchman. He's climbed up 3 places, was disappointed to have missed out on that Super Pole session as Jerome D'Ambrosio now makes his pit stop for the Faraday Future Dragon Racing team, which is, again, a little bit of an odd one. But there is Lucas de Grassi with Jean-Eric Verne behind him. Comes up past the university.
I think Lucas is in that sort of area right now. He's slowed it all down. He's just backed everything off, but he's actually going quicker. He's just got into that really nice rhythm we talked about. He's back in the corners up. He's not overcharging the corners. He's got to keep an eye on his mirrors, though, because Jean-Eric Verne is he's just slowly inching closer. And if there's a guy you don't want to see in your mirrors is Jean-Eric Verne, because really he has nothing to lose at this point. He's 7th in the championship. He's in a kind of a fight for it, but he take a race win.
Buemi up the inside. He's making the move on Oliver Turvey. Sebastian Buemi up into 7th position, past the next EV Neo driver, the man from Penrith. And that is now Buemi through into 7th, Turvey down to 8th, and Daniel Abt right behind in 9th position now as they flash over the line down towards turn 1. Abt looks towards the inside to go and pass Turvey as well, and he's through. So Daniel Abt follows Buemi through. So it's Buemi in 7th, Turvey in 8th. The next move for Buemi, I imagine, will be relatively straightforward. It's his teammate Nico Prost, who, albeit, is 3 seconds up the road. But if Prost hasn't made any progress on Evans by the end of the race, I would suggest that's a sort of given position for Sebastian Buemi, but I don't think Prost is planning on not making a move on Mitch Evans as they come up Rue Notre Dame down towards turn 5.
In about 500 metres he's planning a move, but Buemi's got to do better than this. You know, the 5th position is not going to help.
And Mitch Evans covering the inside. There's the dummy from Nico Prost. Mitch Evans rather unusually decides not to drive him into the wall, because that tends to be what you do at that corner, and Prost is into 5th place.
That was a proper overtaking manoeuvre, assertive, just got the job done, not sort of a half manoeuvre. Great work. Now Buemi's got to catch that Jaguar in a hurry, because he needs to keep going forwards.
15 laps left and things are starting to liven up once again. It looked like the Buemi and Abt fight was going to continue as the race restarted. They both jumped past Jerome D'Ambrosio, but then D'Ambrosio got back in between them, and that was probably for the best. Now Buemi has made a couple more moves up the field. He's right behind his teammate, he's only a couple of places behind. I should imagine by the end of the race, those positions will be swapped regardless of whether there's any cars in between the two of them. So Buemi is at the moment looking on course for at least 5th place. Possibly higher, because he's clearly got a lot of pace in that car. I think he'd still struggle to catch de Grassi, the two cheater cars, and Rosenqvist, but he's getting right up there in the points. It's impressive considering how far back in the field he started. Nico Prost, he's putting in a very impressive performance. It's not been a great year for him. In 2017 he didn't get any podiums, and I think really it sort of showed how much of a gap there was between him and Sebastian Buemi. But he did score points for the team when needed, and he's doing a very good job here in Montreal. We are nearly 2/3 of the way through this race, so we're going to start seeing some moves made, I think. I think Buemi especially is going to have to go on a real charge here.
Had to cobble something together, essentially, in 4 months. They haven't had the amount of research and development time that some of the other cars have had, and he's defending now as well. So that's Jose Maria Lopez, who's behind him, and Jose Maria Lopez, who is past him. So Lopez now up into 9th position. Evans drops down to 10th.
Meanwhile, up toward the front, Lucas de Grassi is going to have mirrors.
Crash.
Oh!
So who is that in the wall? It is it's the DS Virgin car, isn't it? So I think
Lopez.
it's Lopez.
Yeah, Lopez.
Jose Maria Lopez at the bottom of the hill on the run up towards the university.
Is it going to be a safety car or full course yellow?
Safety car would be big trouble for de Grassi.
That's a local yellow for now.
There's no way.
I think that'll have to be a safety car, I would have thought.
That debris in the middle of the track, that is not good.
There is an angle coming behind.
We've not seen much of the Virgins in this race. They have been very, very quiet, but all of a sudden they seem to come alive. Birds moved into the top 10, Lopez looks to be following, and then all of a sudden he just crashes out. Big shame. It again has not been a great year for Jose Maria Lopez, who is a great driver, but this might tighten up the field. We might get a safety car from this, which de Grassi will not want because he's about 5 seconds clear of everyone else. Buemi, this will help big time if they do put the safety car out, because the gap to the cars in front of his teammate is massive, and he probably wasn't going to catch him on his own. He's made a couple more moves. Evans was one of them, and obviously the next up is Prost. Evans has started to sink through the field. He was just about to drop out the top 10, so this Lopez crash might be saving his skin at least for a little while. Other than that, not much has changed, especially at the top. it's been very quiet in this race. Most of the attention has been on Buemi and his fight with Daniel Abt, and a few drivers in the midfield as well.
Of having enough usable energy to go for the fan boost, whereas Verne now is below the amount that he needs in order to use it. So I think it's just going to have to be a pure pass on the track. This is on board with Sebastian Buemi. Up behind Felix Rosenqvist. There's a look up the inside from Daniel Abt, and he goes past Nico Prost. Buemi locks up. Is this going to be a chance for Abt coming into turn 2? Buemi's all out of shape, but Abt isn't quite going to be close enough. But Buemi is under big pressure now from his championship leaders teammate.
Look at the defending, he's staying hard to the left-hand side. He's got to be careful because Daniel Abt won't mind knocking him out of the way if he has to.
Nico Prost is trying to get in there as well in the other blue Renault car. So the championship battle is going on down in 5th position, not involving the man who's potentially about to become the championship leader. And Degrassi's got a little bit more usable energy remaining compared to Jean-Eric Verne.
He's got to go
in 2nd
now.
position.
He's got to be careful here, Jack, because going into turn 6 is the type of place that Abt would send one up the inside. But Buemi has got, that was an odd line he took into turn 6, but he's got to look forward and attack through these areas.
Because he had Prost, he was trying to cover Prost.
Was going left.
No, I'm talking about Buemi.
Oh, right.
Buemi took a very odd line into 6. It was a very shallow entry.
So the fight continues on track. A very tricky moment for Buemi. I think it actually cost Prost the place to Abt because Prost sort of had to stay out of the way of his teammate who locked up. Abt is right behind Buemi again now, and that could be a real fight. And it could, or maybe was expected to end in contact. But Daniel Abt keeping it clean so far. He could have hit him a couple of times on that lap and chose not to. So it's all looking good at the moment for Degrassi to take the championship lead. The first time Sebastian Buemi will lose the lead in the championship in 2017. But we do have 6 laps to go.
A little bit
That
rude.
wasn't even subtle.
There's the Montreal skyline, and here is the Formula E race, the final round of this season that's taken us to 9 different cities around the globe, and it's culminating once again in a spectacular championship finale.
Rosenqvist has 3%.
Oh,
he's hit the wall. Look at the steering
it's
go
done.
off.
It's done. The left rear, surely for Felix Rosenqvist. You saw the back
at the steering.
wobbling around. The steering's off as well.
He's about to find out how much damage when he touches the brake pedal as he comes down to turn 1.
Here he comes into the right-hander. Through that right-hand turn for Rosenqvist.
It doesn't look good. He's got a lot of oversteer. Look how the cars in front are pulling away. This is great for Buemi.
And there's Buemi right behind him.
More drama from this race. Felix Rosenqvist, who has been driving so well recently, at least at this point in 2017, and it was just a moment where a little bit of oversteer sent him into the wall. His car looks like it's crabbing a little bit. He does look damaged. He'd be an amazing drive if he makes it to the end of this race. And he now has Sebastian Buemi for company, just to make things even worse for him.
No, but the crucial thing is, if Verne gets ahead of Degrassi now, Sebastian Buemi will retain the lead of the championship.
Exactly.
If.
There's something about my aunt and my uncle and if, yeah. It's,
And Sam Bird will displace Felix Rosenqvist in 3rd.
Last couple of laps and we have some real fights on our hands to end the race. Degrassi is just holding off Jean-Eric Verne behind him, but the Techeetah looks really quick. Sebastian Buemi has caught Stefan Sarazan and could get a place on the podium, which is incredible when you think he has come from the back of the field. Nico Prost and Daniel Abt are fighting behind that. They both got caught up behind Rosenqvist, who has dropped down to the bottom end of the points. Mitch Evans is doing a fantastic job in 8th in the Jaguar. And I think we could see someone like Oliver Turvey get a point as well, or Tom Dillman. They're both just outside the points behind Rosenqvist, who is still going around with damage.
Look how close Jean-Eric Verne is. He thinks about it towards the inside. Not quite close enough, but just trying to destable Lucas Degrassi, who's probably getting a little bit hot under the collar at the moment. Sebastian Buemi still stuck behind Stefan Sarazan. These two teammates in the World Endurance Championship, but no favours.
This is the move. If he's going to make the move, if Jean-Eric Verne is going to make that move, it's going into turn 6, which should happen.
Here they come down the right-hander. He's not quite close enough, and Verne has got slightly less usable energy. Here comes Buemi on the inside, and he's through into 3rd place, but Sarazan's holding it on around the outside.
Careful,
and there's no contact. Buemi's heading towards the barrier, just about keeps it out. Now he's got the inside for the next corner. They touch. Sarrazin almost goes into the wall. Now towards the final right-hander on the circuit. He's not quite able to do it. That allows Daniel Abt right behind as well. Does Abt fancy a move going into the bus stop chicane? Lucas de Grassi's leading the race as he comes through the final 2 corners. Exits out once again onto the Boulevard René Lévesque, and he is going to take victory in the first penultimate race here in Montreal. It's victory for Lucas de Grassi.
Nice. Fantastic drive, well controlled from start to finish.
Absolute delight for the Abt team.
Maneuvers.
Verne in second, Sarrazin.
Lucas de Grassi takes the win. That will put him in the lead of the championship with 1 race to go. Sebastian Buemi, fantastic drive to get back up to 3rd. Should have kept the championship wide open at that point, but unfortunately he was later disqualified because his second car was underweight. Rookie mistake from the team and a massive disappointment for Sebastian Buemi. It was a tough race for him. That little spat on track with Daniel Abt, I think, really frustrated him. There were incidents after the race finished where he went and shouted at Antonio Felix da Costa, who then told him, "It wasn't me, you got the wrong driver." So he went to da Costa's teammate Frines and had a go at him. And he also had a go at Daniel Abt as well, and he called the Abt team dirty. He later apologised to the Andretti team, but as far as I know, never apologised to the Abt Audi team. And maybe he was right, because Daniel Abt slowing him up in the pit lane is a bit crappy. De Grassi's win was incredible. Lights the flag, never looked like losing it. Jean-Eric Vergne did push him at the end, but never really made a move. We had a lot of action in this race, a lot of back and forth, a lot of overtaking. It was a great track for overtaking. It's definitely a shame we never saw Montreal again after season 3. But with 1 race left in the 2017 championship, let's look at the standings going into that final race. No changes in the team standings, but Abt Audi have closed on Edams once again. There is now just 33 points between them. Abt Audi do still have a slim hope of overtaking their main rivals. Mahindra do well to stay in 3rd, with Virgin 4th and Techeetah in 5th. Lucas de Grassi takes the lead in the championship from Sebastian Buemi for the first time in Season 3. Sam Bird clings on to 3rd, with Felix Rosenqvist unlucky to drop points and drop to 4th. Jean-Eric Vergne is in the top 5. So that is all from the first race at Montreal in 2017. I'll be back with the next and final race of Season 3 of Formula E. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. What did you think of this title fight from Season 3 2017? It has been incredible. There's been a couple of duff races, but I think Season 3 really was a massive upturn in just general excitement from Formula E. Thank you very much for watching. As I said, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any more videos coming out. And most importantly of all, have a good one.